Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos where I give you the opportunity to test your comic book grading skills up against actual results from CGC. Inside this box right here, I have 15 books that were submitted to CGC as part of the economy tier. These books were made available to me and to you and to all of us to practice our comic book grading skills by friend to the channel, Octavio. Octavio, thank you so much once again for making your submission available to all of us. Now, just so you know, these economy tier books took about 13 months from the time they were sent to CGC to get back to Octavio here. He sent them off in December of 2021, and they just came back at the very end of January 2023. The economy tier turnaround is quite long. It'd be nice to see CGC do something about that. In addition, these books were not pressed at CCS, and so that was not a factor in their turnaround time. They were, however, pressed by a third party before Octavio sent them off to CGC. Now, a great thing about this submission is that these 15 books are all mid-grade books, which is really, really great for me, and I hope really, really great for you as well, because a lot of the books that I have the opportunity to assess for grading are higher grade books. And so I don't get a lot of experience in this mid-grade range, so I'm really, really excited to test my comic book grading skills and see how I did with books in this range. If this is the first one of my videos that you've seen, thank you so much for checking this out. I've made a lot of these test your comic book grading skills videos. I suggest you go check it out, but let me tell you what we do here real fast. First, I'm going to show you video of these books when they were raw, before they got sent off to CGC. We're going to assess the books for any damage, any flaws, anything that might affect the grade negatively. Then we're going to come up with our best guess as to what we think the grade might be. Then we're going to pull these books out of this box and we're going to see what grade CGC actually gave them. And then we'll compare them to our grades. Were we close? Were we not close? If we were close or we nailed it, great, good for us. If we were not close, I would recommend doing what I do all the time, which is go back in the video, look at the video of these books when they were raw again, and see if you can't assess why CGC gave the books the grades that they did. I'll also be providing, during the unboxing portion, all of the graders' notes here up on the screen, so you'll have that information as part of the context as well. All right, that's it for intro. I think that was good enough. You want to see what these books are, right? Well, I want to show them to you. Let's go ahead and take a look at these books when they were raw. All right, first up we have The Avengers, issue number 57. This is the first appearance of the Silver Age Vision. There's also a Black Widow and Ultron appearance. As you can see, this book has problems. I mean, I could list all the things you can see with your eyes. Yes, it's in bad shape. And I'm looking for a good section. I'm looking for like a pristine section of this book. I don't think I'm going to find one, but it's a great book to have, you know. That cover is truly amazing. Yeah, somebody wrote a 7 there at one point. It actually presents really well, considering that it's basically wall-to-wall damage. The back is kind of a similar story where it actually looks pretty good. It's just not. I remind you that all these books were pressed and cleaned, so they are at their best right now. But yeah, some of these aren't ticks, they're tears. I keep going back to, like, this is a nice looking book. If this book had been well handled, it would be amazing. But at this state, I think it's a 4.5. Next up, we have Silver Surfer issue number 1. Yes, this is the origin of the Silver Surfer. Tales of the Watcher begins in this, and it's also the origin of the Watchers. You'll see, obviously, the elephant in the room. The cover is very detached. There's tape along that edge. It's been heavily drawn on. Yeah, the Fu Manchu Silver Surfer here is pretty awesome. But there it is. It's a comic book. This is what the splash page looks like. I told Octavio that if I was him, I would have him grade it like this and get the definite no grade. He wanted to slab it with what that cover is. And there's no back cover, as once again you can see with your eyes. There's tape. Yeah, this book is in rough shape, but Octavio wanted to grade it. I don't fully understand it, like I said, especially because it's drawn on the front. I think it's going to get a no grade. And finally, we have Journey into Mystery with the Mighty Thor, king size special. It's the annual. This is the first appearance of Hercules and Zeus. It's a Thor versus Hercules, as you can see on the cover. This is the only issue like this. After this, it just becomes the Thor annual. So, yeah, I'm not seeing... I see like a stack of paper there, but I don't see like an edge. Yeah, this cover is basically missing its spine. Once again, it looks pretty good. I can't imagine what it looked like before it got pressed. It probably looked really, really bad. And the press just makes these damaged books look a lot more presentable. It kind of tempts me to want to buy a low grade that looks this good. Oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, the cover's detached. Like I said, the spine does not exist on this book. Once again, the back of this book looks really good, especially after it's press. But there's damage you just can't get away from. A completely detached cover. There's no pressing that out. But this is going to look nice for somebody. This is going to be a nice collectible. A very low-grade collectible, but a nice collectible that I think, because it's a completely detached cover, I have to think it's going to get a 0.5. All right, so now you've had the opportunity to take a look at the first 3 books that we are going to be pulling out of this box when they were raw. You've given your best guess as to what you think the grade might be. I've told you what I think the grade might be. Now it's time to find out what the actual results from CGC are. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. This is a 15-book submission, and so it's kind of a standard box for CGC. They basically have like a 15-book box. So these should be pretty tightly sealed in here without any kind of filler or anything. There we go, let's see. Yes, I like to show in my videos how CGC packs, and it's pretty standard for this size. They put this piece of thick cardboard here up on top to protect it. And yes, there are 15 books in here, and there is no filler. So, and you see that cardboard is all the way around the outside as well. Boom. Okay. Now, I'm going to pull these out one at a time. I'm going to work from the right side to the left. I don't know what books are coming out. There are multiples in here. So I am going to have to reference my photos just so I know that we're talking about the correct one and I'm assessing with the right grade. But this one is a straightforward one. This one is Avengers number 57. There is no multiple of this. Let me pull up my reference and see what grade I gave this book. I gave it a 4.5. Now keep in mind what grade you thought it deserved. And now let's go ahead and see what the results are from CGC. Okay. How'd I do? Like I said, I needed a lot of practice on these mid-grades. So let's see, did I nail the grade or do I need more practice? 4.0. Okay, so I would say that that's pretty close. I overgraded it just a little bit, but if I'm 1 grade increment off from the result from CGC, I consider that a win. Of course, I want to nail it, but if I'm only 1 grade increment off, I'd say that's pretty good. And I was a little high. I'd rather be 1 grade increment below to protect my investment, but 1 grade increment high, I would consider to be pretty good. We'll put the graders' notes up here so they can offer us some context. So if you want to go back and see what some of their rationale for the grade was, you can go ahead and do that. This book does have some Newton rings, which of course is tough to avoid with CGC sometimes. But there we have it. All right, so I'd say that that was a pretty good start. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the next book in this submission is. Okay, this is Silver Surfer issue number 1. Now this is a fun one. When Octavio showed me this book and told me he was submitting it to CGC, I have to admit, I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I want to submit it. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, why don't you submit it without the cover? Because as you remember from the video of this in the raw, the cover is completely detached and there is no back cover. And I'm like, I think this is not going to get a grade. It's going to get an NG. And I'm like, well, Octavio's like, well, let's find out. Well, let's all find out together. Did it get an NG or did they give it a 0.5? Let's see here. Okay, you see it, and the grade is a 0.5. They did give it a grade. That's surprising to me. I thought that a completely detached half cover was only going to get a no grade. It's basically like functionally coverless because it's completely detached and half missing. But nope, I guess if you have any amount of cover on the book, you're at least going to get a, it doesn't even have to be on the book, you just be next to the book. You are going to get the 0.5. I don't know how they can determine that this cover belongs to this book and how it's not like married and how it's, there's lots of questions I have about this, but so it goes. A 0.5 in this Silver Surfer issue number 1. Well, that's a fun one, and I got to learn something, so I hope you learned something as well. All right, we're gonna look at one more book in this video. And that book is, okay, Journey into Mystery Annual number 1. I believe this is the first appearance of Hercules, I think. I'll double check that in just a second. But let me see what grade I gave it. Oh, it's on the other side. Let's see, I'm almost there, guys. Hold on. There it is. I thought that this was going to get a 0.5. So considering that got a 0.5, I'm going to have to assume that this is going to be better than that. So maybe it's a 1 or a 1.5. Let's see what it is right here. But 0.5 was my original guess. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what grade it got. A 1.5. Okay, so admittedly, I have 0 experience grading books in this grade range. This isn't mid-grade, this is low grade. But you know what they say, low grade is better than no grade, and this is definitely better than no grade. So it's a 1.5, so it got a much higher grade than I expected, but considering I expected a 0.5 and it got a 1.5, I wouldn't say that I was way off. I'm basically like 2 grade increments off. So in this range, I'm pretty happy with my guess of a 0.5, but now I have a better understanding of what a 1.5 is, and now so do you. Okay, well, this was a fun start to this video series. This is only the first of 5 videos that I'm going to be making featuring this submission by Octavio to CGC. So make sure you pay attention, you stick around and subscribe so that you're notified when I post parts 2 through 5. If you like this video and you like this content, likes are appreciated by me. And once again, subscribing is the way to know when new videos get posted. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.